Welcome to It's All About You, a program that keeps you connected to all the exciting events and services the City of Urbana has to offer. I'm your host, Natalie KennyMarquez. On today's show, we'll talk with Public Arts Coordinator Lisa Hatchadoorian, meet the new Executive Director of the Urbana Free Library, and learn all the specifics about Bike Month. We'll also talk with Seth Fein about a new music festival coming to downtown Urbana, but first, I'm joined by Scott Tess. Hi Scott, thanks for coming on the show today.
Glad to be here.
So there's a rain barrel and compost bin sale coming up. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. The event is Saturday, May 17th. It's from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The location is in the parking lot at Green and Vine. That's north of the city building, but east of Lincoln Square. What we've done is put out a competitive request for a quote so we could get really low prices on rain barrels and compost bins for folks in Urbana and Champaign. And I should say we're cooperating with the City of Champaign as well as the University of Illinois Extension Service. And so we're going to have a one-day only sale, super low prices, where we'll sell rain barrels for $35 if you've got your stormwater utility rebate with the City of Urbana or the City of Champaign, $60 regular price, and then the compost bins are $50. This is way below typical retail prices. So we're really creating an opportunity for folks to come out and get these products at super low prices.
It sounds great. So how does the whole process work on that day?
Sure. At 9 a.m. we'll start sales, and it's going to be a park and queue kind of system. So people can park in the parking lots around the city building and walk over and make their purchases. There's going to be a few associated items that are useful for composting, like turners and thermometers, and then take the products and be off. For the rebates, this is part of both City of Urbana and City of Champaign stormwater utility rebate. We're going to do that as a point of sale rebate. So you don't need to pay the full price and then send in paperwork later on to get your money back for your rebate. All folks need to do is bring proof of their residency. So if they've got a tax bill where it shows that they paid the stormwater utility, or City of Urbana is going to accept a recent power bill or water bill, we'll go ahead and take the rebated purchase amount off right at the beginning. And that's only for the rain barrels because it has to associate with the stormwater utility fee.
Got it. All right. So do you sell out of rain barrels or compost bins? Is this something folks should order in advance, or can they count on there being one that day?
Yeah, we definitely sold out of rain barrels last year, 400. We didn't sell a lot of compost bins. We sold 175 last year, but it's hard to say what will happen. If folks are worried about that, what they should definitely do is pre-order. You can pre-order at www.enviroworld.us/Urbana. And so you can pre-order your product, and actually you'll be able to skip the line. You can go to the pickup line straight away, show your receipt from your online order, and you're off. So it's a lot faster.
Just print it out and jump ahead to that part of the queue.
Yeah, it's the best way to go.
That sounds good. Now, how do these models of rain bins and compost bins and rain barrels, how do they differ than the ones that someone can find at the store?
Sure. Very similar to a lot of the products that you can find in the store. Our rain barrel is fairly typical. It has a secured lid with a mesh top so that the stormwater from your downspout can go down into the rain barrel, but mosquitoes can't come out. The compost bin that we have is a stationary compost bin. It has a twist and lock lid so you can load your food scraps in the top, and then a sliding door at the bottom so you can remove your finished compost. We don't have a tumbling compost bin at this sale, just the stationary. So that would be the only difference from the selection that you would get at a retailer. But like I said, the prices are maybe half of what retail is.
That sounds excellent. So you've mentioned a few words that I'm not super familiar with, and there might be others out there that agree. So if someone wants to learn more about how to use a rain barrel or how to use a compost bin and all the mechanisms involved, is there a place where we can learn more?
Sure. Two places I would direct you. One, if you purchase either of these products, and you can buy both or buy one or the other at our sale, but if you purchase them, it comes with directions, not only in the very simple, there's just a couple pieces to assemble, but also in how to use the product, so how to compost. Also, the University of Illinois Extension Service has lots of information on their website about how to do all manner of gardening activities, including composting. And we're going to have the extension service on site providing assistance and answering questions about using rain barrels and compost bins.
Perfect, so they'll be able to answer our questions. All right, one more time, can you tell us the date and time of the event?
Sure, it's Saturday, May 17th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the corner of Fein and Green, north of the City Building, east of Lincoln Square.
Wonderful. Thanks for coming today, Scott.
Sure.
Hopefully we have a great turnout for that sale.
Thanks.
I'm heading on down to the market Saturday morning. I'm heading on down to the market Saturday morning. All your farmer friends are there at the market at the square. I'm heading on down to the market Saturday morning.
Welcome back to It's All About You. We're now joined by our new Public Arts Coordinator, Lisa Hatchadoorian. Thanks for joining us today.
You're very welcome.
So tell us a little bit about where you've moved from and what position you had before you came to Urbana.
Well, I've been a little cross-country. I was out in Wyoming for 6 years as a curator of the Nicolason Art Museum. It's a contemporary art museum in Casper, Wyoming. And before that, I was basically in New York City. That was my home base since college, doing a variety of curatorial jobs. But right after coming back from Wyoming, I went back to New York City. So it was kind of New York to Wyoming to New York to Illinois.
So what interested you in moving to Illinois, specifically to Urbana?
Well, it was a number of different factors that kind of came up at the same time. My husband and I have had the experience of living in a hugely urban environment, which is New York City, for a long time. And then we experienced a very, very rural environment with Casper, and we thought, well, it's time for something kind of in the middle. And so Urbana and Champaign fit the bill in terms of being a mid-sized community, micro-urban, semi-rural college community, and it's working out great so far.
Well, great. We're so glad that you're here, and it sounds like you've jumped right into the public arts program and the tasks that the coordinator works on. What are some things that you're working on now, or are there any events coming up you'd like to talk about?
Sure. Well, at the end of the summer, we have the Boneyard Creek project that will be opening, and we're working on some events, musical events and activities to go along with that opening. So that will be probably late August, possibly early September. And we're working on our Art at the Market series to gather together workshops and performers for the market, which will open on May 3rd and go through November 1st.
Yes.
And we just had a dedication this past Saturday of Preston Jackson's wonderful sculpture in King Park called Byways to Equality. So a lot of different things are going on, and it's keeping me very busy.
And I think that UPTV was there to film that, so folks watching this can probably switch over and check that out afterwards.
Yes.
Excellent. So this question is just for fun, and I know that you're new to the community, but where might we find you if you're not coordinating public art here for the City of Urbana?
Well, I am an inveterate hiker. I love to hike and get out and walk around, so I've been exploring all of the areas around town and outside of town. So I've been to Meadowbrook Park many times, go there on my lunch break. Allerton, I've hiked around there, Homer Lake, Lake of the Woods. I went up to Starved Rock.
So you've traveled around quite a bit since you've been here. That sounds great. So before we go, how can folks connect with the Urbana Public Arts Program, either online or on social media?
So we have Facebook and Twitter accounts, and we have a newsletter that if I can get an email, then I will put you on our email list for our monthly newsletter.
Excellent. So it sounds like we should, if you're interested in the public arts program, to send Lisa an email, and we'll get you connected with the monthly e-newsletter and subscribe to Facebook and Twitter. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll have you back on to talk more about the Art at the Market programs and the Boneyard event when that comes around.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Reduce, reuse, and recycle.
The world will be all dirty if we just put everything in the garbage.
If we didn't have recycling here on Earth, then eventually bottles and newspaper and a bunch of other stuff would start to pile up and it would be hard to get around, and eventually there would just be so much pollution, the air would get bad, it would be hard to breathe, and the Earth would be very not in good shape.
Is recycling good for the environment? Good. Do you recycle at home?
Well, my brother really loves to draw, and my dad has a big stack of paper that's been used on one side and he draws on the other side, and I think even that is something that helps.
It helps Mother Nature. It's just like the animals and the trees and the grass.
Reusing is when you take something and use it again. Like again, from old tablecloth, we cut it up, braided it together, and we made it into a jump rope.
I only recycle boxes because I make a box maze at my friend's house. And we have a big box maze. And there's a bunch of boxes.
If enough people just do it at least a tiny bit, then it could make a really big difference.
I'm now joined by Celeste Choate. She is the new director of the Urbana Free Library. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks, I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
So where did you move from and what position did you hold before coming here to Urbana?
Most recently, I was one of the associate directors at the Ann Arbor District Library, and we lived in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Excellent. And what interested you in moving to Illinois, specifically to Urbana?
Actually, the library has a great reputation, and when I saw the position was open, it very much intrigued me. It's a library known for its great reputation in public service, and then looking at Urbana as a community, we very much like the opportunities that are available here.
I agree. I think Urbana is a great place to call home, and we're very happy to have you here in the community. Very lucky to have you at the Urbana Free Library. What are some of the things that you're working on right now at the library?
We're really excited to have a new element to the summer reading game. This year, adults get to play too. So we don't have all the details yet, we're working them out, but adults will get to read and then have the opportunity to win prizes. Teens and kids who are readers and kids who are listeners also get to participate in summer reading. It's a great time.
Is there a place where we can go to learn more as details come about these programs coming up?
Absolutely. You can come to the library, of course, or you can go to urbanafreelibrary.org and there'll be information there as well.
And what are the hours at the Urbana Free Library?
Monday through Thursday, we're open 9 to 9. Friday and Saturday, we're open 9 to 6, and Sunday, we're open 1 to 5.
Excellent. So some other things happening at the library. What are some of your short-term goals as the new director at the library?
Well, one thing I want to do is take a look at all the great things the library is doing and evaluate them and see how we can build upon our current strengths. I'm looking to partner with community agencies and the community itself, community members, and see what kinds of things we can do differently and what are things that we haven't done before that the community would like to see. So I expect you'll see some more programming and some more partnering. For example, this summer, you're going to see a celebration. This is the 140th year anniversary of the founding of the Urbana Free Library. And so over the next year, we're going to celebrate the years of service and reflect back to the community the great things the library can do for it, and find back from the community, what can we do for you?
Exactly, and I know just a few weekends ago we participated together at a ribbon cutting at the library for the Royer Arts and Architecture District, celebrating the architecture of the library. Have you been caught up to speed on some of the history of the library? I know you haven't been here for very long.
It's a really wonderful building, and it has a couple of different phases of construction, and it's a beautiful place to be. So please come and bring your family if you have one and check out the library and see what it has to offer, both physically as an architectural piece in the community, as a gem, as well as what we, the staff, can provide to you.
Right. And this question, not specifically related to your work at the library, but if you're not at the library, where might we find you hanging out around in the community?
I'm might be quilting. I could be out on the roads running, getting ready for the marathon, a half marathon this week.
Wow, excellent.
Yes, and we like to get outdoors and do things and be active. But you might catch me at the Craner Art Museum as well.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. And I know we were talking before the program, you like the outdoors, and you mentioned hills, where you came from in Michigan. We don't really have a lot of those, but I'm sure you'll find a nice flat race course this weekend for the Illinois Marathon.
And I appreciate that.
Yes, we'll be cheering you on, and it's so nice to talk to you today. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you over at the Urbana Free Library.
Thanks very much for having me.
The shared lane marking, also called a sharrow, is a pavement marking in a motor vehicle lane that is too narrow to be shared side by bicyclists and passing motorists. The sharrow is used to alert motorists of the location bicyclists are likely to be riding in the travel lane, to assist bicyclists with positioning in narrow lanes to avoid being squeezed, and to encourage safe passing of bicyclists by motorists. As the cities implement their bicycle plans, you will begin to see even more pavement markings and signs to help motorists and bicyclists share the road.
Welcome back to It's All About You. Now with us today we have Jeff Yockey, who's going to talk to us a little bit about Bike to Market Month. So Bike to Market Month is happening throughout the month of May.
That's right.
And tell us a little bit about some of the activities that folks can participate in during the month.
Okay. This is the second year we've been celebrating Bike Month, activities all month long. It'll be our 5th year for Bike to Work Day, which is our big event. We had almost 900 people sign up for it last year. 12 different welcome stations, downtown Urbana, downtown Champaign, places on campus, places farther out like Parkland College. And that happens on May 15th this year. It's on a Thursday, so we're gearing up for that. But we decided bicycling is for everybody, and we wanted a whole collection of events during the month of May. And so we have Bike to School Day, that happens on May 7th. We have Bikes on Campus Day at the U of I, also on May 7th. And then we have Bike to Market Saturdays, and we do that all 5 Saturdays during May at Market at the Square.
Excellent. And then is there also a Bike Expo happening as well?
That's a brand new event. It's going to be on May 3rd, Saturday, from 9 to 1 inside Lincoln Square Mall. And as you come in on the, what side is that? I have to think. On the south side, come in there in the high court area. We're going to have some bike shops, bike organizations there, even some wellness groups, ready to help people think about biking.
Right. So if you are talking to a new bicycle rider, maybe someone who hasn't, rode on some of our newer bike paths and lanes in Champaign-Urbana, what's a tip or a piece of advice that you'd give them if they want to get out on their bike?
If they haven't ridden their bikes for a while, get them out, wash them off, put some air in the tires. You might need to have somebody that knows something about bikes. Just do a quick check. Make sure the brakes are good, the chain's oiled up, everything's safe and set to ride. Encourage people just to kind of go around the neighborhood for a couple times first. If something happens, it may happen in the first block or two. And so get out, do a couple test rides. If they're thinking about riding to work, then we really encourage them to find a friend who's a regular commuter or maybe a colleague at work to kind of talk them through what to expect and to start planning for it even before our Bike to Work Day. So wherever you work, look for bike parking. It may be close to your building, it may be inside your building, it may be just slightly around the corner. So find bike parking. You might practice riding to work a couple times, like Saturdays and Sundays before you actually get dressed up and go to work. So if you do have a problem or if you get confused, you've sorted that all out when you don't have any pressure, and then ride that way. If you're coming to the market, you're going to buy some things, and so people need to think about carrying things on their bikes.
Right.
And so that could be a rack. If they got a rack on the back, maybe they need a milk crate or a box so they can put their, this time of year, I guess, just seedlings and flowers and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
No tomatoes yet. Maybe a backpack, just to think about how they can safely carry something on their bike. To have a couple plastic bags hanging off the handlebars, that's asking for trouble.
Right.
So they need another system. What many people do is to find a trailer, like a little kid trailer
Oh, yeah.
that somebody has. oftentimes on Craigslist they're $25. Maybe a neighbor has one, maybe you have one. Take the seats out, put that on your bike. That's an excellent way to carry a lot of stuff.
And I see a lot of those parked out at Urbana's Market at the square.
That's right, yep.
And bicycling isn't just for adults. You said that there's a bike to school day, and it sounds like there's an upcoming bicycle rodeo as well happening.
That's right. That's what, May 15th?
Yes.
Is that right? May 15th. And that's a lot of fun. We'll have probably 10 different volunteers there throughout the morning, and there's obstacle courses. There's all these little different skill events for kids to practice on.
Right.
And so stopping, starting, hand signals, making turns. Yeah, and actually the parents learn a lot too.
I know I took my children there last year, and they were both fitted for a helmet, which was very nice because I didn't have the expertise to do that. So now they have nice helmets for their bicycles.
Yep, they'll be ready for that. Cynthia Hoyle and the Safe Routes to School project are the ones that work on the bike rodeos, and Champaign County Bikes partners with them.
Well, it sounds like there's a lot of great bicycle-related activities coming up this May.
And May is going to be warm, I'm sure of it.
I'm sure of it too, hopeful. And where can we go to learn more about some of these events?
Oh, that's great. We have a website. It's www.cubike.org.
Okay.
And we have a calendar there of all the events during Bike Month. There's links for Bike to Work Day and some of these events. We ask you to register, give us some information. We try to have some incentives. We also have nice bicycle maps.
Wonderful.
For anybody. We'll have these at every event during the month of May.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us today, and let's hope for great weather and lots of folks out on their bike.
That's right. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
One, two, three, four. I'm heading on down to the market Saturday morning. I'm heading on down to the market Saturday morning. All your farmer friends are there at the market at the square. I'm heading on down to the market Saturday morning.
We're back with It's All About You, and I have Seth Fein here of the Nicodemus Agency, and you are planning an awesome new event in downtown Urbana, and its name is Illiac.
Correct.
So where did this name come from?
Well, Natalie Illiac is the name of, in this particular case, the world's first piece of computer music that was developed here at the University of Illinois in the Urbana part of the campus. And that was called the Illiac Suite. It was developed in 1954, I believe, and it was really just the first piece of music that was composed with the use of computers. And so everything I've tried to do as a producer of festivals throughout the years is to try to give some homage to whether it's something I like personally or whether it's the city that I grew up in, which is Urbana in this case. I don't know, there was something about the ILL that kind of turned me on. And, you know, when you give something a name, when you produce an event for the first time, you could go round and round and round. And I just landed on that and I went for it. And I think that people, I'm not sure what they think of it. And you kind of come to a place where you're just like, well, that's what it is, and I'm just going to go with it. So.
Well, I think people are really excited about it. I've seen a lot of great buzz on social media. I've seen a lot of people talking about it, heard people talking about it. When is it? Where is it going to be in downtown Urbana?
The first Illiac Spring Festival is what the official name is. Will be on May 10th on a Saturday, and it will be on Main Street in between Broadway and Race. So really right in the heart of downtown Urbana, and there's a very particular reason we wanted to put it there, and that's that we felt like it's really the most well-known strip of downtown Urbana. And there's a lot of activity happening in this part of the city right now, a lot of new places opening up with the Butcher and a cafeteria and company right across the street, and a lot of older spaces that have been there and have been anchors to downtown Urbana during its redevelopment with Mirabelle and Cinema Gallery, which we love, and Crane Alley. UBA's office is right there, heel to toe, as far back as I can remember. And so there's just a lot of energy there, and we felt like if we were going to do a free outdoor show, that it would be really healthy for the whole community to be able to bring as many people as possible to enjoy downtown Urbana on that particular day.
So free.
Free.
Outdoors.
Outdoors.
And what's the lineup?
Well, we brought in 2 national headliners, one of whom has performed at Pygmalion Music Festival in the past, and we did that show in partnership with the CU Folk and Roots Festival in 2010 as a band from Nashville called Those Darlings. A couple of really awesome female-fronted musicians, and then a band called There, which features a number of different artists all kind of coming together. In this particular case, Mike Kinsella from Owen and Captain Jazz and American Football, who's going to be headlining at Pygmalion. So it's kind of a year of Mike Kinsella, which is okay with me because he's such an amazing musician. In addition to that, we really wanted to round out the bill with a lot of great locals, choose locals that we felt would be appropriate for an outdoor free stage where families would be really welcome to come out. And some of the names of those bands are Sun Stereo, Emily Otness and the Weekdays, Swords, Bones, Jugs and Harmony, Jack Anthony and the Desperados, Barrow, and we also have a great lineup of DJs who will spin in between the sets and kind of give the day a little bit more of, I don't know, their own flavor.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you have this all listed somewhere so people can go through and check these bands out?
Yes, you can find this all at theilliac.com, and that's ILLIAC.com.
Awesome. So to wrap things up, if we have folks coming from outside of the community or even coming from Champaign-Urbana to the festival, where would you direct them before or after the show to catch some more entertainment, eat something, check things out?
Well, we're talking about downtown Urbana.
Yes.
So I'm going to always give the nod for a drink at the Iron Post. There's just something about the way Paul runs his bar that really has always done it for me. Certainly Bunny's is always a fun place to get a drink. Got to have the burger at Crane Alley. Got to get the burnt ends at Black Dog.
Yep.
Salad bar at the Courier. And a cup of coffee at Flying Machine. Certainly stop in at the Cinema Gallery to check out the artwork. And, you know, there's a bunch of different little funky places all in downtown Urbana that I think some people from out of town wouldn't know about, and some people even from within Champaign-Urbana don't know about. So hopefully it's a day where people kind of come down, enjoy a drink, watch some music, and then just kind of walk around and explore what it has to offer. So that's the goal.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a great event. We
Should be great.
appreciate you coming on and talking about the
Sure
Illiac
thing.
Spring Music Festival.
Thanks for having me.
And look forward to attending.
Yeah.
So for more information on the City of Urbana, you can visit our website at urbanaillinois.us. From there, you can watch this program on demand and download our audio podcast. We appreciate you tuning in today and hope you'll join us again. And remember, it's all about you.